Hello and welcome. Today we're making another interactive slash like fun fold kind of card. I love these little box cards. My favorite part is that they fold down flat so you can fit them into an envelope. So they're easy to mail, not a lot of bulk, but yet they're just really unusual. Most people haven't seen these, especially if they're not card makers. And they're fun. So they sit up on your desk like this and then they can enjoy them. So this set released recently and I'm in love. I just absolutely love it. So let's get started and explore making a box card. The first thing I did was die cut 2 panels. The die set I used is by Mama Elephant. I'll link that below. You need 2 of these die panels, and I also die cut 2 of the grass or the inserts. Okay, on my original one I used Memento, they're brown, but for the life of me I cannot find that anywhere in my craft room. So I'm using Hero Arts Cup of Joe, and really all I'm trying to do here is darken up the edges so that this looks a little bit more like a terracotta pot. I thought that that would be fun. The paper I'm using is from Fun Stamper's Journey. I'll link to it. This is like a really unusual color and I love it. I use this a lot at fall. I think it's called Pumpkin Pie. I will double check, and like I said, I'll link to everything below and on my blog as well. And I'm also going to do this panel a little bit on the inside because this is going to be the back of our card. So let me see, I'm gonna do a little bit on the inside of this one because this part will be seen as well. All right, and again, I just think that sponging adds a little interest. It also helps make it look a little bit more like terracotta. And then because I want an open front to my box, you could use this piece, but in this card I'm not going to. I'm just gonna trim this off. Put that in my scrap bin, and now this is the front of our card. So while I'm thinking about it, let's glue this card together. I'm going to glue it like this. So I'm going to add glue to this tab here. I think the hardest part about making this card is getting yourself oriented. Once you start realizing what part is where, these cards go pretty quickly. So there we go. So we're just gluing this together. So now we have one whole box. And then these are going to all score, or they're pre-scored. We're just going to fold them over. And this is what becomes our box. These will fold down. And you can kind of double check yourself to make sure that you didn't miss anything that you really wanted to shade in. Might do just a tiny bit more on this back piece just because I have this dark spot. It's fine. Okay, I'm not going to glue this together because I find that they're easier to work on when they're open flat. And then the next thing I'm going to do is heat emboss the sentiment here. I re-embossed this panel and put it back together. My first one was a little bit blurry. I highly recommend using a MISTI. I'm not sure why I don't get in the habit of using it for everything. Sometimes I just revert to a block, old ways, or old habits die hard, I guess. But it worked much better with the MISTI. So now that I have this done and it's all sponged, I'm going to set that aside. And I stamped out some of the cactuses from the My Favorite Things set. And I'll have a link down to this below, but it has several cactuses in it. I just chose these ones to be the spotlight. I'm going to speed the coloring up because this is not a coloring video, but I'll leave the coloring in there so you can kind of get an idea of how I did this piece of it. Alright, I have them all colored, and I'm just going to add some details to these and then set them aside to let them dry. I have a Spectrum Noir shimmer pen. Whoa. And I'm going to put some shimmer onto my balloon. Of course, all this stuff is optional. Everything is optional. Alright, so set that aside to dry, and I'm going to put a little bit of shimmer on the hearts onto the cactus. So let that dry. And then I'm going to take a white gel pen and add, again, I'm kind of keeping this straight up and down because I want my dots to be pretty symmetrical. But I'm adding a couple dots just like I did with the markers to add a little bit of highlight detail to the cactus. And I just think it, I don't know, adds a little something. And then on the hat, add a little bit of highlight mark on the brim of his hat. Kind of want to add. All right, we'll set this guy over. And now I'm going to take my black glaze pen and I'm going to enhance these eyes a little bit. And this does take some time to dry. Not that long, like 30 seconds to a minute. But if you do smear it before then, it will ruin your project. So it is a good habit to get into to set those aside. Now while those are drying, I'm going to come back to my box and I'm going to get rid of this paper because I have some Wink of Stella on it. And I'm also going to get out my brown ink pad and the stamp set. And on my sample, I stamped some cactus on the back and on the sides of this, and so I'm just going to add some detail around the edge to give it a little bit more interest. And when you do this, one of the things I found was to, let me show you. You want to fold these side panels down because we don't want to get stamping on those when we're doing this back panel. And I'm using a slightly darker brown than I used on my sample, but you know what? I like it, and it's actually turning out really well. So now I'm going to switch my cactus up. Let's pick a different one. The one with the hearts. Put that there. So I'm just filling in, going through the stamps one by one, kind of willy-nilly. I'm not trying to copy the one I did originally. I'm just kind of doing whatever it is to fill in some space. On the green pieces, I'm going to trim the grass off, the grass side of them off here, just at the tip. And this is more of just a paper saving tip, because you could just cut these again and do what you want with them, but just to save paper, because you're not going to even see that side of them, why not? And I'm going to glue one. Oops, I'm going to trim a little bit off here. I'm going to glue this right to the back here so it makes it look like there is some grass in front of these cactuses, which actually, now that I'm gluing it down, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense because they're cactus and they probably don't live in an area with grass, but whatever, it's cute. And then the second one, I'm going to glue on the inside of this box so that when we fold it up, it looks like there is grass in the foreground and background or of our little planter here. Now these guys, I'm going to fold the tabs. And I'm going to put glue on just one side of the tab. And you can do this in lots of different ways. I decided to line the top of my hill up with the side of the planter because I didn't want my grass to stick up real high. Just waiting for that glue to set a little bit. And I'm going to do the same thing with the other box. Now on this side, I'm going to add glue now. And wherever it naturally closes on this side is where it will land. I'm not going to let it do whatever the paper feels is natural. And I love this glue because it sets up pretty fast. Allows you to keep moving. But you could use your double stick tape or whatever. And then lastly, I'm going to put glue on this tab here and then close the box. So now we have our box shape all completed. And I love how easy that was. And now we can pull in our cactus again. And you have to decide where they are going to go. So this guy's kind of the star of the show, the little mariachi cactus. And I'm going to put glue right there on the bottom of him, and I'm going to stick him to this grass. Here he is. And now we have to decide, I think I want this cactus over here to hold the balloon. So I'm going to put some adhesive or glue onto the balloon string here, and I'm going to put this behind this little cactus girl. Looks like a little girl to me. And then I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the back or the bottom of her and attach her to the back blade of grass. And then lastly, we just have this guy here. And smidgen more glue on him. And he's kind of a filler cactus. We try to do things in odd numbers, so we needed a third cactus. So I'm going to put him, actually I'm going to put him in front of the grass, because if I put him behind the grass, I can't see his cute little face. So we'll stick him right there in the front of the grass like that. And there we go. We have our finished card. You can find pictures of this. I know it's kind of awkward to look at it on the camera because but it still folds up, fits in an envelope. What a cute, fun thing. Pop it open. Sits on the desk. There you go. Well, I hope you enjoyed seeing the process of this. I really hope if you like this type of card, I've been trying to do a whole series, so check out, I've done a few other interactive cards or different ways to use some products, and I try to use multiple companies in each video so you have lots of choices of where to get your stuff. Check out my blog. You can see where I purchase my stuff. I'll have stuff linked for you there. And if you have questions, let me know. Have feedback, let me know. I love to hear what you think. If you tried this, I'd love to see it. I hope you have a wonderful day. Stay crafty. Bye.